The Luciferian mysteries in relationship, using Luciferian spirituality to crack and decode the matriarchal system, right? We always hear these concepts that we're living in a matrix. We're living in some type of simulation, right? If you look up the definition of a simulation, it's like a replica of something, a copy of something, right? If you understand and you've studied what the matrix is, you've heard about matriarchal systems, right? And yes, there is a lot of leadway to that whole concept of, are we stuck in some type of simulation or matrix grid? The complexity to get people to understand that, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. When you hear me always talking about you're living in two realms side by side that are parallel to each other, and you're jumping back and forth from each of these abodes or realms or existences, some people, I know they hear me saying it, but some people just don't get it or understand it. There it is. What I'm trying to get you to see is, okay, there is your realms, your subjective realms, your universes that you navigate through and exist, and you rule over and have full control over these domains or realms of existence. It's when we talk about the concept of you standing on the center of your axis, or you standing firm on your square, as they say in the Masonic mysteries. Are you standing firm on that square where everything is evolving around you? Now, how they get you pushed off that square is with all these systems of indoctrination. Once they can invade your thoughts, they can use many forms of intrusive thoughts to create a simulation based on what your reality is. I know it's going to sound a little fucking bugged out, but follow me. And then they can simulate something and kind of intertwine. It can be so, they can make it so conflicting where it's hard for you to decipher between what's an illusion and what's reality. That's the simulated matriarch that they're trying to trap us all in. How? By controlling our thoughts, our emotions, by feeding us all these images and feeding us these through these images, frequencies, energies, whatever you want to refer to it as, and are able to manipulate our thoughts. I told you, the lower they can get you to vibrate at, if you become such a low vibrational frequency being, it's very easy for them to invade your thoughts. How do you know this happens? If you're a person who, I don't know if panicky is the right word, but if you are you know, you have high anxiety, you're on edge all the time, you constantly feel like you're feeling sick, you kind of have paranoia. This is developing more and more as we're living in the day and time and the age that we're in with everything that's going on. They're fucking with everybody now. We all know the sensationalism that's going on with the whole politics and the Trump shit and everything that goes on in the world. So what they do is they put you in this simulation. And as they put you in this simulation, they surround you with all these things that I talk about. And when they feed off your emotions through all of those aspects, fear, anxiety, rage, anger, all of those things, they have to get your vibrational frequency to such a low point where now it's easy for them. They can send you frequencies and wavelengths of energy directly to your mind and alter the way you think. But you have to be vibrating at such a low frequency for them to do that. The more you become a high vibrational frequency being, and the more the pineal is activated and you wake up, and the more that you're able to absorb these waves of energy or consciousness to really have that internal divine awakening that you so need, that keeps you on the path that you need to be on, and it keeps you quote unquote firm on your square, the center of your axis. When you're centered and focused, they can't get at you. This is why when I say they can't get at you, it's hard for them to penetrate that, okay? And this is why I said in the end of the year, going into the beginning of the year, the importance, the extreme importance of getting your shit together now, because they're coming after spiritual people now, okay? They're not worried about the people they got in the clubs, partying, getting drunk, getting high, robbing, stealing, out doing a bunch of derelict shit. They got those. They don't need to worry about those type of people. They're not worried about the people who are so trapped in their emotions. They're angry about everything in the world. They become so bitter and they can't facilitate their emotions. They got those people already. They're not worried about the people who are living in fear and panicking and are completely consumed and devoured by conspiracy theories, this, that, and they got those people. They don't care about those people. So I'm trying to show you there's a variety of ways they can come at you, who they are worried about. Because the real individuals, the real male and females, the gods, the goddesses, whatever you want to refer to it as, that are now transcending or taking that next leap in their DNA to their spiritual involvement, to their spiritual evolution to become what they're destined to become, they fear that. Because now it's going to be those who rise up, the true people that are starting to awaken to what's really going on out here and within themselves. They start to see now this, and that's why I keep saying this is an inward journey out, not an outward journey in. See, those that look at this spiritual path as you're starting from somewhere way out there working in, that's part of the simulation thoughts that they send out there. That's part of that matriarchal grid. One of the biggest things they focused on in all the dogmas and the religions they created was to have you looking as far outside of yourself for the creator, for God, for the truth, to love about life and death, this, that, and the third. The farther away I can get you to look from outside of yourself, the easier it is for me to keep you trapped. That's why all your monotheistic religions are about pie in the sky, about some spooky being somewhere way out there in a place called heaven that nobody can prove even exists, outside of fairy tales, myths, and biblical quotes that can't be confirmed. Okay? That was one of the number one things when they formulated this whole matriarchal system, when they formulated this whole simulation and grid. They knew they had to have a paradigm and a dogma that supported that paradigm or that system that they were trying to implement on us mentally. And they've been wildly successful. Okay? So when you hear people say over the years, I've had issues with it over the years because they don't thoroughly explain it. When they say this world is an illusion, it's not a reality. Well, there's a fine line between both of those things. There is some reality to this world. Okay? You have to decipher